And welcome back to the IWAR Network Tubecast. I'm your host, Alex G. And with me this evening, we have Matt Riley, we have Luke, and we have Jeff. What's going on tonight, fellas?
COVID.
Matt has COVID, so he's going to sound fun now.
Again.
Stop licking payphones, okay?
Yes,
please do not do that.
I don't dig that.
You're digging into something. I don't know.
If you can find a payphone to lick, you probably should lick.
Remember when I was a kid, there used to be a urban legend that people would put needles in the when you put your finger in to get your change out, and people would put like AIDS infected needles in there. That was like a urban myth.
Yeah.
I don't think that was a real thing, though. I don't think people went out of their way to do that. It's weird.
I was going to say, if you're like infected with AIDS and using intravenous drugs, I don't feel like you're spending a lot of time like manufacturing a way to give other people AIDS.
Right.
I think other priorities.
Like urban legends, like everyone had everyone knew of a story of like the hot dog girl. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like who's like, oh, one town over, like that girl with the hot dog, remember? Like,
like we had the woman on Halloween who put razor blades in your candy, which is actually a true story, which we found out much later that actually did happen on Long Island, by the way. So that was the big one for us over here. So if you guys have any urban legends from your neighborhoods, Johnny B, also please chime in on this as well. If you have any urban legends and such from your neighborhoods, please let us know.
Speaking of Halloween, what was Johnny B's candy of choice to give out? There you go.
Raisins, and everybody hated it.
was it 5 pennies wrapped up in tape?
Oh, it's the worst.
Someone did that. Let's make projectiles for kids to throw. A good idea. Oh.
So hopefully Matt doesn't sound too bad, guys. Again, he's sounding a little bit different today. But that's all good. This episode will be what month are we in? What cycle is this? This is
April
2022 TT edition of the IWAR Network Tubecast. But first, we do have some housekeeping. So, Jeff, do me a favor. Can you pull up your NWL bulletin and read off the champions? Because when Matt read them off last time, he just missed a bunch of them in the middle for some reason.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
They don't count.
So, in the NWL cycle, bullet number 182 for April, we had Honor Revolt winning all the titles.
There it is.
Nah, just kidding. We had
There it is.
No Limits Nick Dane of Honor Revolt was the league champion. TV champion was El Mascarado of the Doubles Rejects. Central Plains champion was Warpath Wolf Keenan of Honor Revolt. East Coast, Tomax Firefly. Great Lakes, Sheepdog, Ro Grady. Mid-Atlantic, Zigzag Man. I believe that's 3 now for Devil's Rejects. Northeast champion was the Nationalist, I believe winning his first regional title. Pacific Northwest was Country Hammer, Rhett Grady. Rocky Mountains, Fabulous Harry Hurt. Southeast champion was Machine, another Devil's Rejects. Southwest champion was Zymot Firefly, another Devil's Rejects. And if you're counting, that is 5. And the West Coast champion was Waz from the industry. League tag team champions, Death Row, Cell Block Charlie, and Shackles Malone. It seems like they have a pretty good grip on the tag titles in the NWL right now. TV tag titles are the Firefly Brothers, Tomax and Zamot. League 6-man champions, Zigzag Man, Zamot Firefly, and Sinister Moon. TV 6-man champs were Honor Revolt, Lachlan Kincaid, Nick Dane, Wolf Keenan, and the Battle Royal winner was Wolf Keenan. So, yeah, between Devil's Rejects and Honor Revolt, they took about 80% of the belts last cycle.
They had a fantastic cycle, so
pretty easy to do when you have 6 wrestlers.
I dig that. So, Jeff, we'll catch up with you a little bit later for the NWLTT. But since Matt's voice is just about finished, we're going to start over with the BRL.
You
get him out,
bastard.
just to get you out of the way. You're all lubed up, ready to go?
Yeah, I got my notepad here.
All right, that's good.
So that's my segue.
That was your segue, yes. You totally right there.
Great.
We're not professional at all.
No.
Good looking.
Lots going on in the BRL, and we're rolling towards a Magic Bash. So Magic Bash is our summer pay-per-view, and that will be in June. At the let me zip down here. A reminder for players. People have asked about this. The way we do it is like if it says cycle 586 for Magic Bash, right? Cycle 585 are the matches we base the results on. One of the players has made a big stink about my guy beat your guy in this cycle and the pay-per-view write-up, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, well, that was the same cycle as the pay-per-view write-up, so not the cycle that was counting. So just keep that in mind when it comes to the pay-per-views. It's always a cycle before that matters as far as qualification, who wins.
And the IWL is the opposite.
Right, IWL sucks. So, global champion Punk Rock Mike will defend against Jim the Anchor Neidhart. Sorry, just in Nightmare Johnny Carnage, who won the third Royal Rumble, has announced he will be cashing in his title shot to be part of the Autumn Anarchy main event. So, whoever wins the Punk Rock Mike and Jim the Anchor Neidhart match will go on to Autumn Anarchy, and they'll face whoever the number one contender is, as well as Nightmare Johnny Carnage. So good on him. Some matches added to this show. Johnny Carnage will be facing Monster Truck Tanaka. We have a Bad Habits Lumberjack match between R.A. Rude and Wrestling Demon Drugs. Hawaiian Heartthrob and Mad Jax McAllister will get it on, and I have just seen the promo that Jack sent in, and it'll be fun to read next time. Kabuki Dragon takes on LePage Turner with a special guest referee. We have one of the things I wanted to bring up too. A couple of players have asked for multiple matches. So what I try to do is get as many players into the show as possible. And one thing I try to avoid is double booking people. So, for example, Pain and Destruction have been beefing with the Carnival Profits. That's fine. But Greg Garner also has been talking smack at Playboy McFerrari. So what I try to do is spread it out so it's not just like, both matches with Greg. So what I'll likely do is have a mystery opponent for McFerrari, and we'll have Pain and Destruction settle their thing with the Carnival Profits and the Schmidt brothers in that triple threat match. We're going to have a ladder match between Agent 26 and Wisp, the White Claw Outlaws against the Von Schnapps, Rainbow Pony versus Owen Bullock, and more. So there's still space for more. But this cycle coming up isn't the determining factor. It's the cycle after that. So keep that in mind when it comes to your matchups and all that. So trash talk-wise, just going to make this quicker. There's, of course, the BWL promo pushing for Black Widow League. So if you want in on that, please drop me a line. Let me know. We've got about almost 20 people in right now. And we're shooting for like 25. There's people going to be joining, I'm sure, that I don't hear about. If that's the case, that's fine too. So let's see here. I talked about Jax and Heartthrob. Super Killer Devasto wants a rematch with Adam Cash, but he also announced he is planning to retire as soon as he gets 100 more victories. So that might not happen. One of my favorite things right now is Monster Truck Tanaka claiming that he is the leader of Pain and Destruction. Meanwhile, Pain and Destruction is like, you're not even part of our stable. What are you doing? So that's in the works. We have, of course, Wisp also beefing at Johnny Carnage. So he's kind of calling him out. But remember, Wisp beat Agent 26 at WrestleRama for $1 million. So now he's kind of throwing out the let's double or nothing type challenge. So that could be interesting if it happens. Seth Adams Lee is kind of, he finished off his business. Now he's looking for a new feud. Mentioned the Ace training facility and kind of mentioned his stable of wrestlers. So who's he training? We got Flashy Jack Ferdinand, who is the IWAR World Champion, talking about his desire to take down the SHS, Suburban Hell Savages, because he's sick of Globey and Punk Rock Mike. But he also talks about his first priority is defeating LePage Turner when he challenges him for the title in Match Clash. Let's see here. Punk Rock Mike talks about being the longest reigning champion. Doesn't mention Jim Neidhart, so I'm curious to see what he says about him next time. But that's coming to a head. There was a big kind of plot twist where the Syndicate kind of reforms. Now, the Syndicate was in the NWL, and they were really running roughshod over the league for a while last year in tag team and six-man wrestling. And the Samoan Death Grip had the Teamster as their manager, kind of helping out. Well, he kept botching it. So they fired him, beat him up, and Nightmare Johnny Carnage came out, and he helped them beat up Teamster. And he joined the Syndicate. So now it's Stevie Vertigo, Nightmare Johnny Carnage, and Tua Noah and the Samoan Assassin.
Man, fuck Stevie Vertigo.
Sure. No, Stevie Vertigo also talks about his beef and heat with Luther. Has a fairly fantastic Old English ad. If you take a look at the bulletin, I know Alex appreciated that.
I did. That will always get a pop from me.
Reading my crappy writing here. I can't read what that says. Oh, well.
I tried to drink fucking Old English not too long ago. That fucking tastes awful.
I've never drank, but in college we had a thing where we had a West Coast rap party night, and I came home and the entire beer was full of Old English malt liquor. I have a picture of it somewhere.
Old English is not good. St. Ives is better, not great, but they don't make St. Ives anymore.
I just remember that, and then we had a keg in the shower when I would take a shower, and I was like, "Fuck this!" I showered anyways.
You could also get a 40 ounce of Red Dog, by the way.
Red Dog.
It's also awful.
All right, other things going on here. Let's see. I mentioned that Rainbow Pony is talking about his match against Owen Bolick, and he's talking about his being who he is. His gimmick's not a joke. Man, I got to write better writing here. Mick Ferrari had a lot of stuff going on, so he was talking about his various things. He's got title shots. He's got this. He, of course, the final of the triple threat trifecta was Mick Ferrari, Owen Bolick, and U.S. Mail. So that was a winning team there. So they will go on to challenge for the IWAR World Six-Man titles, and that match will be contested in the same rules. So it's not going to be one of those things where it's like, oh, they had a six-man match. It's like, no, it's going to be like three individual strat stores added up. So it kind of adds a curveball to the way it's set up things, Man, let me see here. Genco. I was talking to Tyler earlier. Genco sadly called out the Americanos, who I just sent packing. So hopefully they'll have a new feud on the horizon. I know he's got something going on because he's moving Shiloh Wallace to the BWL. And this was asked earlier, so I wanted to kind of mention this. Someone asked me about, hey, if I leave a female wrestler in the BRL, will it be okay? And I said, you can do that. But as of the start of BWL, that is the end of all female wrestling mentioning in the BRL. I've got the BWL set up to be the home for women's wrestling in the IWAR for a reason, because I don't want to have extra space taking up in the BRL. So it just kind of keeps things neat and clean. We have all the women wrestlers in the BWL. And, so you can have a wrestler, a female wrestler in the BRL if you want. Just there won't be any pay-per-view matches. There won't be any IWAR title shots coming out of it. No title matches. I know Chris had asked about that too. It's the focus is going to be on the BWL. It'll be easier for me as a commissioner. Mike and I are working on that stuff. So that's going to be coming out next week. So that debuts. If you want in, get on board now. So I'm probably forgetting stuff, but the next other big thing was the Von Schnapp showed up and they challenged the White Claw Outlaws, who have been bragging about being the best team ever, and so it's kind of a Young Bucks Hardys type showdown, where it's like two big teams, so that'll be fun. But we have a lot of good players coming in, so BRL's gonna be getting even hotter. So also kind of cool. This past Tuesday, report came out, and the BRL had the highest average strategy, so we won 10 free matches.
There it is.
Not this cycle after. So that's kind of cool. So that's that, as it were.
I dig that. All right, next up, IWL. Before we get into the trash talk, I know Luke is being highly, really anticipating talking about the TT here. I do have an announcement to make. We do have a winner for Soul Survivor, and that was Riley Reynolds won Soul Survivor, $35 and IWA credit. So congratulations, and you should be receiving an email from the IWA shortly. Just confirming that. So congratulations, and good luck with your match with Barry taking in Stevens. So, which
ooh, he's gonna kill her.
No,
he's gonna murder. I'm telling you, I'm gonna have TT. He's gonna murder her. Because
he doesn't win big matches.
No, it's actually I was sketching out his promo.
Yeah,
and it's pretty severe.
Okay, that's fair. Are you mad that all the women wrestlers win championships and they're supposed to go to the Black Widow League?
Well, that's the thing. It's like, one, it's like a one wrestler. Two, she's leaving like this cycle or next.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm telling you, man, the IWL titles are cursed. I'm not going anywhere with Barry Stevens. I'm staying around at least.
So you got 3XM also won championship as well. You got a good old backstabber who I think he's officially gone. I don't know if he's no longer on the roster at all. He's gone. So he's not even inactive. So we have to deal with that. So I think I mentioned last time that for the Grand Prix Championship, we're going to do a quote unquote Wrestle Riot match, which will be sort of a 24/7 type of hardcore championship kind of rules where the person who leaves the arena with the championship belt by the end of the show will be the new champion. There'll be 12 wrestlers who will be included with that, and you'll get the list of that next cycle, which wrestlers will be included in this event. So I was going to use that idea for something else, but then this came along, so I really had no choice. So the Grand Prix Championship is, vacated, I guess. We'll go into that. There's actually going to be a write-up explaining why it's vacated when we get to the pay-per-view. If you guys do owe me write-ups or you guys want to be involved in write-ups, please contact me or send me your write-ups so we can get those done. I'd rather get those sooner rather than later because I do have to put them all together, which is very time-consuming. So if you have them, send them. If you want to do something, let me know. Don't make me write your matches because you'll probably be mad at me. That's how that goes. Someone gets embarrassed and then they're sad. So Riley Reynolds had a hell of a cycle. She won 57 free IWL matches on top of that credit. So congratulations. So Luke, what do you got for us TT wise?
Nothing.
I knew it. I fucking knew it every time.
Nothing happened, man. Just
very boring cycle. You just have like 96 pages, 65 in total actually.
96 pages of bullshit. All right.
Yeah.
So first up, we had Atticus. In fact, I can't even talk. I'm done. I'm gonna quit.
Already.
Atticus Black. Yeah.
Never heard.
Just going over his history with Ricky Spanish. They have a match, or they had a match at Soul Survivor. So he was going over his history, talking about what he was talking about when he mentioned kind of cryptically.
Yeah.
What was going on. So they evidently have a history. So X3M talks about her Pan Am title shot, and people don't really trust her new positive attitude. So she had previously been in, she was kind of like a shit-talking hardcore wrestler. Now she seems to have taken a softer turn. So we'll see if that lasts.
By the way, I want to need more avatars of X3M, please, so I can put her on the title page. I do not want to leave that blank. So please get me a picture of some sorts that you'd like to use for the title page. We greatly appreciate it. Thank you.
I would like to point out that the IWL is no problem with having female champions.
No, we're very much pro that here.
Barry Stevens is a nice guy, and that's why he doesn't like women champions. So it's okay. we know what Barry Stevens is all about. So, anyway, Big Ben Jr. still Johnny WrestleFest's rental car because Johnny WrestleFest assumed that he was a valet, and so he got his rental car stolen. Big news from Free Quebec: the number 1 draft pick will now re-enter the draft. So they maybe go number 1 again because of how good they are.
They could.
So John Marco Jr. Spent his time trolling Neo Dragon, calling him Kabuki Dragon. So evidently there is I guess all dragons are the same. I guess that's how people look at it. So
yeah,
I'm not going to talk about this type of people, but they're not good. Ollie Atari called out Rex Chambers, and as well as talking about the Roppongi showdown between himself, Mega Squadron, and Neo Dragon. And
who's eating chips? Matt, you're eating chips?
I'm eating saltines.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Right into the microphone.
Your mic.
And ginger ale.
U.S. Mail talks about how he's attempting to ban Bulk Hogan's brogue kick.
Oh. It is illegal. He is a foreign object in there.
Loaded.
Barry Stevens went ahead and talked about basically he could face anyone from RX as Alexander J. Styles has become injured in his title shot, and also they asked him some questions about the status of Dixon Ticonderoga. So
he's dead.
Let's see. Yeah. And then Stevie Vertigo from the BRL made an appearance. He's going to meet Luther at RX headquarters.
Not a good idea.
We'll see how that goes for him.
Not good.
But obviously
there's a jail underneath it. With old Luther foes that he's kidnapped, and there's a prison underneath his house where he keeps his former rivals in chains. It's ridiculous.
It's butchy. All right, So the big thing that's weird, So this is creating some conflict between the BRL and the IWL.
Yes.
So we'll see if the conflict from Stevie Vertigo and Luther Alexander goes over.
I think it's too big for one league. This has to go IWAR wide.
Oh. I mean, leave it to Revolution Extreme to cause problems in the IWAR.
Yeah.
So, Chameleon covers his relationship with Neo Dragon. Neo Dragon was supposed to marry Sam Solee.
Oops.
But it ended up being Chameleon. So, but they've evidently buried the hatchet, and they're going to let bygones be bygones. Chameleon and Sam Solee are doing okay. So, they kind of moved on from that, and
clearly has her drugged. Clearly.
I mean, she's gonna be in the BWL. So,
nice.
Yeah. Patriot and Christian Warrior talk about their title defense against the Demolition Crew, as well as what they're going to do to the Graces when they do double duty in their Roppongi showdown.
Mm-hmm. Unlike the Bureau, we will triple and quadruple book people on our show.
Look, man, we care about the fans. The BRL, there's
one time we had Alexander J. Styles on 4 times.
Look, there's like in real life, there's WWE and AEW. There's a wrestling company and there's an entertainment company.
No wonder Styles broke his leg after wrestling for matches.
Look, man, you gotta do what you gotta do. We're the Independent Wrestling League. All right. Where was I at?
Amazing Graces.
Oh, Amazing Graces. Thank you. Litigation got beat down. So he said that Patriot and Christian Warrior were not allowed to touch the Amazing Graces. But he left out the fact he didn't cover himself. And so the Omega Squadron members took their Roppongi showdown aggression out on litigation. But you know what? I don't think he's innocent. Lone Star and Bonnie Binks went after Arya Gunpowder and the Gun Connection.
We also have a challenge from Bonnie Banks to Riley Reynolds for Russell Riot.
Oh yeah, but I don't think that's gonna happen.
That's gonna happen. No, we'll book her 9 times on the show.
Look, man, we are wrestlers, okay? Anyway, so Ulysses Deadeye called out Broke Brogan. He called out Big Ben Jr. and he called out Luther Alexander.
Which is not a good idea.
He said he also said that I can't read. So, fuck that guy. I'm not going to get into that anymore. The regulators are talking about the Von Schnapps, who also mentioned them in their TT, and then also what they have coming up with the Roppongi showdown. The regs are always confident, so nothing new from them. Racer McKay talks about how he made an impression. He compared to the top stars of the IWL to action figures that he's going to collect his victories from. Demolition Crew talks about their upcoming challenge of Omega Squad, as well as their bad blood with the Three Birds and Rosanna specifically. And Rex Chambers, again, went after Ali Atari, attempted to attack him, but it did not go well for him. So that's what's going down in the IWL. In addition to, you already covered the Soul Survivor results, right?
So we did the results already, so...
Yeah. So that's what's other than the results. What the write-ups will be this cycle.
I appreciate the fact that Ulysses Deadeye called the Tubecast, and I quote, "late night Tubecast circle jerk," and had to say nonsensical rambling. Nonsensical ramble frustrated me, which is true. That's the most accurate description of the Tubecast I've ever heard in my entire life. So thank you for that.
I mean, he wasn't wrong, so that's good.
I mean, I read at a 4th grade level. I think everyone knows that. I have a disability. It's not my fault.
Don't tell anybody that. But if you want to share your struggle with the world,
well,
you're welcome.
It's true. It's true.
But,
well,
yeah.
I dig that. So, Jeff, what do you got for us in the NWL?
Well, as usual, a lot. NWL always bumping with the TT. All right. So, pretty big time span here in the NWL. Everybody, like we said a few Tubecasts ago, everyone from 2021 is filtering out, and we have a new group sort of taking the reins over. And because of that, we have a little bit of turmoil going on with some of the commissioner titles. Number one, the biggest title that we have, commissioner title, is the Young Lions Championship, held by Country Hammer Rhett Grady for about 6 months, I guess. And now that Rhett Grady is heading over to the BRL, he had to vacate the title. So first TT this month, Rhett Grady is asked by Johnny B, who is the commissioner of the NWL, to vacate the title, which he does, even though he had just defeated Rod Camino and Mark Justice to retain it. He vacates the title without incident, and then as he's leaving, everybody who wants a shot at the title starts coming out. We got No Limits Nick Dane coming out. We got Mark Justice coming out, Fabulous Harry Hurt, Father Arturo Bartolo, your everyday hero Oliver Livingston, a complete scumbag Caesar Sterling. All of them are coming out and making claims to the belt. So stay tuned this cycle and coming forth to find out what is the next step for the Young Lions title. Next TT is from the Wicked Spider, Erica Phobia, who is one of the lovely ladies who will be heading over to the new BWL this cycle. But this past cycle, she was still in the NWL. She is talking with Dapper Dandy. And as she is talking with Dapper Dandy, all of a sudden, Sinister Moon comes out of nowhere and blindsides her. And she's beating the hell out of Erica until Angelina Blanco comes out and makes the save. Angelina Blanco won the Lioness title at the last pay-per-view. I believe, Matt, is she going over to the BWL also?
Which one?
Angelina Blanco?
Not that I know of, but they haven't contacted me yet. But
Okay, so maybe.
Welcome.
As of right now, she is the Lioness champion, and she comes out and gives her promo, talking about how she won the match. It was a crazy match. She's happy to be there, happy to have the belt. Pretty white meat babyface kind of TT there. Next up, we got El Hijo de Teamster and the Teamster Challenge. So the Teamster comes out with his baby boy, who is currently dressing like a panda bear. And he comes out and starts talking about why is it that his son, his baby boy, can't seem to get ahead in the NWL. And, I mean, for him, his son, Hio de Teamster, wants to join pretty much any faction or stable that'll take him. He wants to join Caesar Sterling's Excellence Academy. He'd love to join Honor Revolt, but the Teamster just won't let him. Keeps talking about saying, forget those bums. We're going to find you a stable. So it looks like possibly Teamster could be getting a group of guys together to protect his son really soon. Next up, we got your everyday hero, Oliver Livingston, quickly becoming probably my favorite TT writer in the NWL. So Oliver Livingston is the wrestler who, besides going around and wrestling, 100 matches every cycle,
Jeez.
also rescues people from burning buildings. He delivers babies. He saves puppies. He does pretty much everything that a hero would do. So he's talking about, to Dapper Dandy, that he won the six-man titles, the NWL six-man titles, with Father Arturo Bartolo and Father Conrad. Kind of an odd pairing, but he says that the fathers should rename their tag team My Two Dads. Father Conrad, I like it, right?
I used to watch that show in the 80s. Had Paul Reiser
Yeah,
on it.
My Two Dads. Didn't one of them draw like a cartoon cow or something like that? Wasn't that like an artist or something?
I think it was, but when you talk about cartoon cows, I always think of what was that show with Too Close for Comfort?
Maybe that's what it was. I might be confusing my 80s sitcoms.
With Monroe.
But anyway, so Oliver Livingston won the six-man title, and he seems like he's breaking down and crying. He is so happy, and he regains his composure and talks about how he is planning on winning the All-Rookie Cup. Next up, Dark Danger. And Dark Danger always starts his trash talk with, in quotations, heavy breathing. You got to imagine this guy. He wears a mask. It's a skull mask. And he's a fairly large guy, and he's standing there, and he's breathing very heavy.
Sleep apnea? Sleep apnea?
Yeah, maybe. But he's always yelling. Everything's in capital letters and a lot of exclamation points. He's very upset. He's very upset with my two dads.
I want to point out that sleep apnea is no joke. You got to get a machine for that shit. It's not a game. If he's yelling a lot, he may not be getting adequate sleep because of his sleep apnea, which can cause him to have anxiety, which may lead to overaggression. So all of this can be tied back to sleep apnea.
Yeah. So maybe he needs to get on the NWL's Johnny B medical care insurance.
Someone get him a CPAP machine, for the love of God.
Look, we don't offer private health care to NWL members. When you get in the IWL, you do get health care through Don King, but it only provides for one routine checkup every 5 years. I don't know what they have in the BRL, but we don't. Don Kling, that's the only thing they offer. It has no eye care or dental care. So, and you can only go through one doctor, and he's a 57-year-old Italian man, and I'm not sure if he even has a medical license.
Sounds to me like the NWL wrestlers could use a union.
Well, we don't talk about that word in the IWAR.
Take it easy. Take it easy.
You need to chill yourself out. I know you're in a college town, but you need to pump the brakes on that one. So they're fulfilling a dream. They're independent contractors. That's how that works.
Thank you, Vince McMahon. Father Arturo. So Dark Danger's calling out my two dads. He's calling out, and I don't care if they rename that team. That's what I'm calling them from now on. My two dads. Father Bartolo, Father Conrad. He isn't happy. He lost another X1 contenders match. But Dark Danger's kind of making a name for himself. He's working his way up the rankings. He also calls out Rowe and Rhett Grady, but they're leaving, so we don't need to talk about that. Next up, we got a new TT entry to the NWL, and it is number 6, John Drake. Number 6, John Drake, is having a conversation with Dapper Dandy, and basically he's just talking about how he's getting his feet wet in the NWL, and Dapper Dandy wants him to get some information so that the fans have an idea who this guy is. John Drake isn't having it. Says that's all anyone wants, information. They need to know everything about everyone, and then they categorize everybody into different columns. He said he's a free man. He's not going to be pushed. He's not going to be filed, stamped, indexed, briefed, debriefed, or numbered. So Dapper Dandy says, if you don't want to be numbered, why are you calling yourself number 6? And he says, the world is a village, my life is my own, a bunch of mumbo jumbo. This guy seems like he's going to be really interesting. He makes a very mysterious hand gesture and walks up.
Gross.
Yeah. Next up, we got my two dads, Confessional Corner, Father Conrad, Father Arturo. And they are happy that they won the 6-man belts with Oliver Livingston. And they're also calling out Death Row. They're calling out Cell Block Charlie and Shackles Malone, who, like I said earlier, kind of have a lock on the tag team title situation in the NWL. He's also calling out the Devil's Rejects, all of them, and kind of in a way calling out Honor Revolt too, but also giving them a rub at the same time, saying that they, they're pure content, they're pure athletes. They're good, clean cut young men. But also
point that my two dads tag team cannot come to the IWL due to a court injunction from choir boy Chris. That they are not allowed to transfer into the NWL when they leave the NWL. So that's a little tidbit of information. So
I smell a stable. Maybe the choir or the ministry. Oh no, we already did that in WWF.
You could do the diocese.
There you go. That's even better. That's interesting. We'll have to maybe push that along. Maybe we can get them over there and get a nice clergy stable going.
Choir boy is his jobber, so he's more than willing. He also is an official in a championship match too, so he's got a lot going for him.
Sounds like an up and comer. Next up, we got Johnny Aztec. So Johnny Aztec's had an interesting few months. He was really on the way up, winning titles and getting in the matches, and then he had a little bit of a lull. But now it seems like he's kind of gaining his stride, and he's coming back, and he's calling out pretty much everybody. He's calling out Roe Grady, who he's always called out and has no love for. He's also calling out Honor Revolt, specifically calling out Lachlan Kincaid, saying that he stole the NWL title right out from underneath of Johnny Aztec. He also doesn't like Keenan, the other Honor Revolt members. He talks about how Lone Star Redneck has left the NWL for greener pastures. And he talks about that he is starting his own stable. His stable is called the Los Rudos Club, which I believe is heel, right? Isn't that heels?
That's correct.
Yeah. The Los Rudos Club, and they are recruiting. So if anyone wants to join up with Johnny Aztec and Spider Sanchez, get a hold of them. We have a repeat of Rhett Grady's TT. We have an advertisement for Aunt Betsy's fried pig parts. It's a Grady Ranch tradition, and it's so good you won't care which parts are in it. We also have a little introduction for John Drake, who we talked about a few minutes ago. John Drake is an international man of mystery. He spent a lot of years in the world of geopolitical espionage. And now apparently he wants to be a wrestling superstar.
That's fair. That's fair.
So it's a bold move, Cotton. We'll see if it works out. Next up, we got Zanroar. So Zanroar is right now the #1 contender to the X1 title. And he looks a lot like Conan the Barbarian. And he has a nurse named Nurse Tiffany, who looks an awful lot like a porn star. And they are talking about how they're in a bit of a scrum with Colonel Doom. Colonel Doom attacked Zanroar, and then Zanroar beat him in a few matches. So Colonel Doom might need to answer this one because he's kind of putting him down in this TT here. He's also saying that he put Rod Camino in the chair at San Quentin. That he beat in the heads of the industry. Rod lost his league belt. He lost his tourney match. Death Row beat the industry, and he beat Waz. So Zanroar is basically saying that he punked out the industry. That might come back to haunt him in his IWAR future. He's also talking about how Father Arturo needs to keep his name out of his mouth. Needs Honor Revolt to stay out of his business. Gemini Man, Oliver Livingston, stay out of his business. And him and Death Row are basically just going to take over the NWL. And together, let's see, Death Row, what are they called? Death Row and Zanroar. They have called something else. The Death Syndicate? Death Syndicate.
Whoa.
Blind Fury comes out next. And he comes out to Bone Crusher. He comes out to the ring, grabs a microphone, and he's calling out Johnny Aztec. So Johnny Aztec's got another guy to deal with here in Blind Fury. Next TT, we have the Celebration TT from a complete scumbag, Caesar Sterling. This was coming off of his big cycle where he won the league championship, he won the Battle Royal, he won the IWA King of the Ring, and he won the IWA Rookie Brawl, all in the same cycle. So he comes out, big cycle. He comes out in a beautiful suit. And Dapper Dandy, of course, is in the ring interviewing him. And, he does what Caesar Sterling does. Just talks about himself and why he's the greatest and why he is excellent and above everybody else. He talks down at the crowd, saying that the average man daydreams about wealth, daydreams about success, and daydreams about fame, but he doesn't have to do that because he already has all three. And he says, sure, you losers, you might also dream of having a beautiful wife who doesn't resemble a Muscovy duck. And I actually looked that up. A Muscovy duck is considered the ugliest duck in the world. But he calls out a few of the other NWL mainstays. Talks about how he's waiting for people to return his invite to the Excellence Academy, and leaves. And then he Caesar Sterling started a new little vignette that are scumbag messages. And this message was brought to you by Caesar Sterling, a complete scumbag. And it's a picture of women pushing strollers. And at the top it says, if she can push a baby stroller, she can also push a lawnmower. Take the week off, Kings.
That's fair. I think that's fair.
Next up, we got Death Row. Oliver Livingston is somewhere in New Orleans, and he's saving puppies from a burning building. As he comes out with the box of newborn puppies, Shackles Malone attacks him with a flaming baseball bat. Shackles begins beating him. Oliver almost drops the box of puppies. He screams, please not the puppies. Shackles continues to beat him. And then Dark Danger comes out of nowhere. Shackles picks up Oliver, throws him in the back of Dark Danger's truck, and Dark Danger speeds away. Self-Block Charlie shows up. Shackles jumps in, says, to the arena, we got more punishment to dish out. And then this is the kicker to this. So last cycle, Death Row got a phone call, and they were trying to get somebody, we don't know who, to attack one of their opponents. Well, it seems like they put a hit out on Johnny Aztec. And Johnny Aztec is going to have to respond to that because he got beat down pretty hard. I have absolutely no idea what this next TT is. It says the old 96er, and it is a story. It's just a rambling story of about 9 or 10 different wrestlers. I'm not even reading this, sorry. Next up, we have the advertisement for the Black Widow League. So make sure if you are trying to get a wrestler into the Black Widow League, you get on that this cycle.
Yep.
We got the Nationalist. The Nationalist, of course, won his first regional title. He is exactly what he sounds like. He is an American nationalist. And he comes out and talks to the crowd, starts chanting USA, USA. And then he has some things to say about Canadians. He's not a fan of Canadians. So anyone that's a Canadian, you might want to step up and take on the Nationalists. He also introduces a new friend or maybe a stable named Axel, who I guess will be coming into the NWL. Sweet Southern Heat, Axel Heat. Next up, we got Fabulous Harry Hurt. Fabulous Harry Hurt, his promos are very matter of fact and they're pretty funny. He's always talking about how the absurdness of professional wrestling, almost like a fourth wall breaking competitor. And Fabulous Harry Hurt, of course, is currently in sort of a tussle with Wolf Keenan over the X1 title. And he's one of the guys that are probably going to be in the mix for the Young Lions Championship. We got Colonel Doom. Colonel Doom is talking about his feud with Zanroar. That looks like that's going to continue. Mark Justice. Mark Justice has had a really rough past few months. He lost some big matches to Johnny Aztec. Then he lost the Young Lions title 3-way to Rhett Grady. So he's having a bit of a crisis of character right now. Not sure exactly what he's going to do next. Talks about maybe he should team up with El Hijo de Teamster. Talks about how Caesar Sterling comes in and does really well, but for some reason he just can't get ahead. So we'll see what happens with Mark Justice moving forward. And then finally, we have a very long TT from Honorable. Honorable apparently paid to get some information on Death Row. So Honorable paid somebody, and they got a flash drive that has information on the person who is financing, the money man behind Death Row. And Death Row appeared, and they inform them about that. And of course, they're not happy, but it definitely looks like Honor Revolt and Death Row are on a collision course. And Honor Revolt has picked up Nick Gemini. Nick Gemini is going to be working with Honor Revolt moving forward. That is it for the NWL. It's a mouthful, but that is it in the 78-page NWL bulletin.
Good Lord. Good Lord. Well, I dig that. So, Matt, what do you have for us IWAR wide?
Not too much. I mean, we covered the basic stuff last time, but again, if you want the Black Widow League, this is the time to send it in. It's due in by Monday at 9. We've got a lot of people. If you just let me know if you want to come in, who you're sending. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm using this time off to get a lot of stuff hammered out, so I think it'll be fun. So join in. You won't want to miss it. So that's it.
All right, fantastic. Anyone in the chat have any questions? And Free Quebec cannot come to the NWL. Not allowed. Okay. Well, don't forget to use our Amazon affiliate link. It's over to your left-hand side for all your Amazon purchasing needs, so I can make 35 cents off of that. Obviously, make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the like button. You know the deal here. Just want to get that out of the way for you. So, guys, I guess we are officially out of time. So, for Matt, for Jeff, for Luke, I'm Alex G. Have a good night.